We live. Oh. Sorry, my eyelashes, I don't know, they're itchy.
Hello?
All right, Ada.
Wow. Okay. So sorry about that. Alright.
Live and dangerous.
Yes, Daddy.
We're supposed to have two topics today. It's just that this topic has stolen everybody's heart. I think we should
Yeah.
continue with it tomorrow. What do you think?
Okay, we can just have it for maybe 30 minutes.
Tomorrow, because everybody is education is overrated. Hi, Chief Fine Babe, how are you doing?
I still stand. I think they go hand in hand. You should acquire it, but don't depend solely on it.
Mm, mm, mm. So you would be what you're supposed to be with or without a formal education.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I said, my take is good primary school, good middle school, good secondary school, university should be optional. We don't need to tie down the destinies of people who want to sell in the market because it frustrates me. You go to school for 7 years, come out as a doctor, and then you become a fashion designer. Or you go to school for 10 years and as a doctor, and then the next thing you go and build a church and say God called you. Last time I checked, medical doctors healed more people than churches.
Mm.
When COVID came, they opened hospitals and locked the churches and mosques. So if you really wanted to be a doctor, God would call you along that line of medicine. But you probably wanted to show your father that you could be a doctor, or you probably wanted to show because you were the best in your school. Growing up, we had those kind of people. Now, them sabi book pass. So, teacher don't tell them, say, you will be a doctor. And there was one guy in my school, in my primary school, Tunji. He was clearing everybody, clearing us in primary school. He didn't even do you know that when he was in primary five, because he was so brilliant and so good and topping the class, he used to do less after school lesson with primary six.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was in class with us in primary five, but the moment we come back to extramural lessons, he wouldn't sit with us. He would sit with primary six. He was brilliant. But at the end of the day, he was pushed into medicine. Most people who are brilliant like that are pushed into medicine. Now, did he do well as a doctor? I don't remember. I don't know. But those are the kind of people that sometimes will decide that, God called me to come and open church. If God wants you to open a church, he'd send you to theological school, or you just be like Daddy Freeze in your house and he'll give you an epiphany, he'll give you a revelation, he'll teach you the scriptures. I didn't go to theology school. I went to study sociology, and it is very important as someone who's preaching the word of God to understand the society, the evolution of society, culture, tradition, religion. Religion is a core course in sociology. Education, religion, why Karl Marx has a Marxism theory on religion. So what I studied in school is very useful for what I'm doing now. But when you study aeronautical engineering and then God calls you to preach, well, I was sorry, but does it make sense to you? God could have called you to preach ages ago. Did he want you to preach in a plane, or did he want you to specifically preach to people who are repairing turbine engines in the aviation industry? So we've got to have these conversations. For someone who went to the university to study medicine and ended up selling, becoming an entrepreneur, I believe you wasted your time in university. There's nothing in medicine that will help you with entrepreneurship. As a matter of fact, if you're studying medicine, you're going to be so busy you will not have time to even think of doing business. But when you study something like economics, and then instead of working, or you study law, and then you go into entertainment. My sister, for instance, is a copyright intellectual property lawyer. Now, someone like that can work in Cool FM, can work with Google. As a matter of fact, at the point she was on, was it the Google account? So that is different. But when you start, let's think about it. Because we're saying no, university education is important. You go and study architecture. And then at the end of the day, you go into full-time ministry. Now, there's a difference between full-time ministry and part-time ministry. An architect can work. Paul was a tent maker. He also was in the building industry, because back then they lived in tents half the time. So you can work as an architect or work as a medical doctor, and on Sunday come and preach. But when you study medicine, or you study architecture, or you study physics, and then how do you apply physics to religion? I want to ask, I wonder, how do you apply, or are you trying to build Noah's Ark, so architecture is useful for the cubits that they used to build the ark? I don't understand it. That's just an example. Then look at people that went to medical school, then finished medical school and started singing. Dude, you could have started singing from when you was in high school, when you was much younger, when you had more energy to jump around on the stage. Why do you need to go to medical school and then come out and sing? And you really think that you finish singing, you have the fame of the Banj or Wande Cole or Don Jazzy, and then you'll be able to go and work in hospital again? You will not. Somebody say it does not matter what profession for you to work for God. It does. God is not a waster of resources. If he wants you to follow him, he will not let you go through 7 years in medicine and then you come out and then you work only for God. When you heal people, do you want to give them injection, immunization when you are done healing them? Let me give you an example. Dr. Sid, for instance, went to school together, we're in UI together. Dr. Sid used to dance and sing from when we were 100 level. He was in a group called Rock Force. He went on to become a dentist. But did he really, if I ask myself, did Dr. Sid really need to become a dentist? He could have sang and danced and faced his rap career. We need to talk about this. We need to mentality. My friend's son is a doctor. My son must also be a doctor. That is the follow mentality. Someone is saying 20 years ago, how many medical doctors go into food? But in Nigeria, you gather a congregation, you preach to them, tithe, offering, seed, you're better off. So you see, there are many people. We need to be more streamlined in our understanding of our career paths. If I have a child who wants to be a fashion designer, she's not going to rigmarole and do, what do they call it in the aviation industry? Again, holding pattern for 7 years in medicine and then come out and throw the thing away. I remember a guy when we were in secondary school, his mom was our our music teacher. He went to study medicine, and when he was done, he he posted his results and went to start playing the piano he always wanted to play. But my question is, did he really need to go 7 years to be a doctor and then go and start playing piano? these are the issues we need to have. And that is why it looks like education in Nigeria is overrated, because a lot of people just go to read prestigious courses without realizing that sometimes they don't need these courses at all. Now, let me imagine I was in the university. Now, I understand the things I can do. Maybe in the university I didn't know I could be a preacher. On the radio, I got a radio job before I got into university, or just as I was getting into the university. So I knew I could work on the radio. And it was something I did quite well. If not, I wouldn't have worked on the radio in Ibadan for 5 whole years. And then, before seeing my results, I'd already gotten the job in Cool FM. From the time when I was 19 years old, I've not known what it's like to be unemployed. I've always had a job from the time when I was 19 to the time now when I'm 44. My dad wanted me to be a doctor. My mom wanted me to be a doctor. My dad wanted me to be a doctor, but he was quiet about it. My mom wanted me to be a doctor, and she put pressure on me. And I remember quarreling with my mom several times. We'd be driving home, and my mom would say, "Oh, you have such nice long fingers. You'd make a great surgeon." And I'm like, "Mommy, you cannot say that these fingers can also move record very well." So when I'm mixing the record, I'll just see my mother boiling me. One day I had to ask her, I said, "Mommy, this empty land you see here, do you want them to use it for burial ground?" My mom said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Me that I don't remember things. You are saying doctors forget scissors inside patients. Me, I will forget my car jack. I'll forget passports. I'll forget pressing iron inside patients." Now me want use the doctor. You know if yeah, I had to ask my mom, I said, but you are mine though. Me. That as I'm sitting here, I've forgotten where I was. That's me that wants to open somebody's tummy. I'll just forget where I was. I say, "Hey, hold this thing, I'm coming." I don't have the patience to sit down and be opening somebody's bowels up for. I don't have that. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means I can't do it. Just like I can't run 100 meters and win in my school. I was not cut out to be a runner. I can't run if lion is chasing me, but that I will run. But that I will run and win marathon. I tried it. I used to come last, if not last, the last 10. You understand? So I always knew that I was never going to be a doctor. I wanted to be a rapper. And I wanted to go to study music in the Polytechnic so that I could follow my rapping career. Now, how am I going to tell my mother that is a professor of law and my father that is a doctor that I want to go not to the university, to the Polytechnic, because the University of Ibadan did not have music as a course, but the Polytechnic in Ibadan had. So I have my mother was working in University of Ibadan as a law lecturer at that time. So my mother can assist me getting into the university, but I want to go to Polytechnic. That's how I just forgot that dream. Like, you know what, guys? It's not going to work. Let me just go, do you understand, into the university. And that's my first mistake. I went in for computer science. It took 2 years for me to realize that I wasn't cut out for computer science. Why? There were 30 of us in the class. And me, I had meeting at work because I was working. I had show. So I used to skip a lot of classes. Now, in sociology, somebody can just help you write your name. In computer science, you know how they used to take attendance? The lecturer will just enter. Where is Ada? They knew everybody's name. Where is Ada? Why is she not in class? Where is Nata? We're just 30. And the class then used to be social distancing. I was not allowed to write 7 exams in my second year going to third year because the lecturers did not know me. There was one particular lecturer I had never been to his class before. The guy said, "I'm sorry, I can't let you write my exam because I don't know you." And why didn't I attend the class? Because I felt I could read the course and not go to the class and get my friends and do tutorials, because the time that they were going to the class was a big period for me. So when I was done with that, I had to repeat that year and then move to sociology. I just thought about it. I'm like, okay, I can't study music so that it can help me as a rapper. For instance, Dare Atala, they studied music in the university. So I'm like, okay, if I can't study music so I can be a rapper, why don't I study something that can help my radio career? I don't need economics. I was stuck between political science, philosophy, sociology, and mass communication. We didn't have mass communication in UI. We had what Femi studied, CLA, classical and language arts. Are you listening, Nada?
Okay, yes, yeah.
Now, of course, let me now be honest. Philosophy, political science, and sociology. I asked around, I said, which all of them would have helped my radio career. If I studied political science as a radio analyst, imagine me on Nigerian Info as a political scientist. It would have been an awesome, do you understand? Philosophy also would have been awesome. Psychology also would have been awesome. Sociology also great and wonderful. They said sociology was the easiest.
He went to ask for the wow, that's free.
Let me know. They were all going to be good for my career. Sociology, psychology, political science, philosophy, they were all be good courses. All would have helped my career as a radio presenter. But I also wanted the easiest way out. I didn't want to kill myself. They said if you study philosophy, because philosophy was under art, so philosophy was difficult. Blah 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 blah. I think I borrowed one course from there, and I realized, thank God I didn't go here. Now psychology, all the psych people, like their lecturers, were all mad. They were mad from campus, and it was rumored that from there they went on to full blown careers of madness. So I just went. Then political science too. Was I really so big on politics? I think I like the study of the society more. So my 100 in sociology, I did it so I could change to economics. As I was moving to 200 level, I said, nah fam, no need. I'm here. I like it here. People would ask me, what do you want to do with sociology? I said, what I'm already doing with it. So I ended up finishing sociology the day I wrote my last paper. I left Ibadan and went to Lagos. Auditioned for 2 radio jobs, one in Rhythm and one in Cool FM, and was called for both. And that night I went to stay with Two-Face Idibia in Festac. They were all staying with a guy called More Money. Shout out to More Money. I haven't seen him in ages. So I remember in the morning when I was going to both radio stations from Festac. So Two was leaning on a car and I was talking to him. I said, Baba, what do you think? Because they knew me from BCOS, that's Two-Face and the whole plantation. They were still plantation boys back then.
Yeah.
So Two-Face said, there's something, I don't know, they are good radio stations, so they're very good radio. I like both of them. But there's something cute about that Cool FM. Say, you know the way Two-Face talks without really saying anything. So you know, he just played into. Then there was also another lady. She was also a musician then. Yes, Funke Celine Dion. I haven't seen her in 20 years. She used to sing like Celine Dion.
Okay.
So I went to see her too, and I was like, "What do you think?" She too said, Cool FM, Sha. Nobody really said. So I said, okay, fantastic. That's how I came to Cool FM. I met up with Olisa. Olisa liked me. And I interned under him. And when you say interned under him, Olisa will send you sometimes and say, hey, go and buy my cigars. He used to like these Cuban cigars. Go and buy a cigar for me. You know. So I grew under him.
Okay.
As of that time, I was not yet a graduate. And this same thing happened. Manny was understudying me then. Manny too had not finished university. He had written his exams. He just came with his keyboard to Lagos to come and find greener pastures. So he was in Cool FM too, and they told him that, Baba, you don't finish school, oh, you don't pass. My mom would literally call me and say, okay, your result is out, you passed. Your result is out, you passed. Okay, we need you in Ibadan now so you can do your, there was something they call clinicals, or what is it called? So they know if you were able to pass all your courses and all that. I came from Ibadan, from Lagos, Ibadan. I slept my car back and forth on public transport because it was cheaper.
Okay.
And that is how I was able to finally finish university. So when you think about that career path and you think about how it panned out for me, you would realize that from a young age, I knew what direction I wanted. All my sisters, because I have three sisters, are all academics. My immediate younger sister, PhD economics. The one following that one, medical doctor London. The one following that one is the last born is the intellectual property lawyer, masters from the UK. Do you understand? Now only me no read book.
Okay, Daddy, please. I'm really enjoying the story, but we don't have time
Yes,
anymore.
we need to draw it to an end, and I don't think we'll talk about it again. I'm also sure a lot of people will be inspired.
Yeah.
What's your take? Inspiration or this daddy fees now Ludo sha.
Daddy, please, you're not doing that to me. No way.
Hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Daddy, please. We'll do this again tomorrow.
Yes,
Or
join
later
us on
today.
Live and
Yeah.
Dangerous. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the best radio station in the whole world. It's the best radio station I've ever worked in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right.
Good night. Um,
So, all right, guys. That was my story, and you also need to pick up your story. For those of you who are still on career paths, um, don't be a doctor. Don't waste 7 years of your life learning medicine only for you to end up being a governor, only for you to end up being a senator. Medicine is a prestigious. Doesn't mean you should abandon your wonderful career. If you want to be a politician, study political science, study economics, study law, not medicine. You understand? Not pharmacy. Because when you're needed as a doctor, your job as a politician cannot suffice. Am I and Ramsey Noah related? Yeah, we're good friends. Somebody say when you pick your phone, be like say you block person. No, now one walk where they wait for, I just see the alert. I just shock my because everywhere don't be like say. I tried contacting Bookie from Australia, but no response. Sorry. All right, I'm going to call Oyinda now because me and Oyinda had a conversation earlier on right now. Let me call her. I hope I'm not waking her up. From Australia. Please, that is for our Forex class. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me just take a screenshot of this and send to Bookie right now. Please send her a message again. You know, the problem is Bookie just came back into the country. Bookie just came back into the country. So if you're interested in trading Forex or learning how to trade Forex, please contact her now. Let me even send this to Bookie. Oyinlade, sorry guys, Bookie, please check this out. This photo cannot be used. I should choose another photo. What's wrong with this phone? Same here. Okay, Stella Star. Okay, two people. All right, two people on my live said they tried to contact you. Now, Computer Digital Studios and Stella Star. Send me an email right now. Let me also follow up because Bookie is very busy. Send me an email to freezecoolfm at yahoo.co.uk. Then also send Bookie a text, a WhatsApp message now. Bookie's number is +234 705 861 4805. That is +234 705 861 4805. Can you guarantee your followers to avoid being conned? Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. I've always told you this about Forex. Forex is not a get rich quick scam. A lot of people think that Forex is a get rich quick scam. Oh, it's an opportunity for me to go and double my money. No. There are a few tricks. One, if you're not ready to put in the time, you will not make a dime. Meaning you have to dedicate your time towards the learning of Forex. If you don't dedicate your time, you're not going to make money. So if you're not making money, it's because you're not putting in the time. Secondly, if you're not willing to learn, you are not going to earn. So if you want to earn, you've got to put yourself through the learning process so you can earn. Thirdly, if you want to eat the jollof rice of Forex, you have to be prepared to make the sacrifice. You're going to invest your time and your money. Of course, it's not as expensive as going to a university, but you're through the course. And let me tell you, there was a guy they brought last week. I've met the guy before. His name is Efizi. Within 3 months, Efizi was already calling trades. By calling trades, it means, okay, you buy this, and he's doing quite well. I followed his session the other day. They called 11 trades, and they won 10 out of the 11 trades. So if you're interested, because a lot of people are reaching out to me, yes, freezecoolfm at yahoo.co.uk. Now, what's the minimum amount to invest? Bookie discuss with you. If you send me, and don't send me emails, before you send me an email, make sure you've contacted Bookie first. Now, if you've contacted Bookie and you can't get through to her, then send me an email so I can follow up. If Bookie doesn't respond to you within 24 hours, send me an email so I can follow up with her. Once again, here is Bookie's number. Don't call her. You see, the problem is, a lot of us Nigerians also don't help ourselves. This number is not to be called. This number is to be WhatsApped, not text messaged. WhatsApped. WhatsApp Bookie. Fantastic. She's even here. I asked them to send name and Daddy Freeze. They will be sending hi. So you see, I hope she picks up because it's 2:30 in the morning. Sorry, it's 12:30. Bookie, sister me. But I hope I didn't wake you up. We are live in a session. I'm supposed to be doing. Okay, so you are doing okay, fine. Now, they are saying hi. Sorry. I'm here with them. Where you are going to. Okay, let me even put you on speaker so they can listen. I have quite a lot of people here, and people are saying we want to get in touch with Bookie. They want to get in touch with Bookie, and I'm like, guys, I had a conversation with Bookie today, and Bookie is not seeing you guys. So it's either they are calling the number. You know, there was a day I also called the number by mistake. The number is with somebody else. The WhatsApp is with Bookie. Of course, all working for Bookie, but the WhatsApp is the when they give you key of the bedroom, you are now trying to unlock the gate with it. You're already in the compound. Leave the gate, go to the bedroom and enter. So guys, Bookie is here on the phone with me. Her number is +234 705 861 4805. Can somebody please pin this number for me? +234 705 861 4805. They're like, just tell them to send the word daddy. Send daddy. Don't send hi. Hi, you are beautiful. Hi, I want to marry you. You then you now come to my life again and say Bookie is not answering you. Later you say Bookie the fine husband. Tell them daddy freeze plus their name. Plus your name, daddy freeze and your name. Now we will respond to them straight away. We're working. We're right on it. So. Okay, Matthew Saltis, God bless you for pinning the number for me. Let me do that, okay? +234 705 861 4805. Can somebody do that for me on Instagram too? So Bookie is actually there right now. If you send her a WhatsApp message, she will get it now. I've woken her up. She will get it now. Esther Mori, God bless you. Thank you for doing that for me on Instagram. So, Bookie, sorry for disturbing you. No problem. Bless you, my darling sister. Now, another thing with the talk entirely, like 3 people just on Facebook especially, we try to reach out to. So I munched the screen and sent to you. As you responded, I know say, okay, let me wake you up. Yeah, they should just send me a WhatsApp message saying daddy freeze and the names, and we will respond. That makes it faster. Absolutely. And on Wednesday, 2:30 p.m., Daddy Freeze and Bookie, Forex with Daddy Freeze and Bookie. Don't forget to join us. We're going to also be talking about the magic of network marketing. We've been focusing more on trading Forex for the last 11 weeks. And now it's week 12. We want to start talking about network marketing, how you can also earn from how you can also make another stream of income from network marketing. It's all there for you. And of course, we're going to have some testimony, some people who joined within the last 11 weeks and have already started breaking boundaries. So please make sure you join us. Bookie, good night. Good night, bro. Good night. All right, guys. So thank you so much for those of you interested. It's about learning how to trade Forex. If you've ever joined our sessions, they're all available on YouTube. Go and check them out. It's called Forex with Daddy Freeze and Bookie. So send the word Daddy Freeze with your name, please. I don't know. I can't tell each of you individually. There are like 150 people on Facebook, 72 on YouTube, and 80 on Instagram. That's easily 300 people. I cannot call you one by one and start telling you, remember to send Daddy Freeze. Remember to put your name. Bookie is located anywhere in the world, but right now she's in Nigeria with us. She was in the UK and the US, jetting up and down. Bookie is an expert Forex trader. I call her Bookie because she's my friend. I'm actually supposed to be respecting her, calling her Chairman Bookie, because Bookie is a chairman in the hierarchy of Forex trading. So you might as well just reach out to her if you're interested. If you've ever joined our sessions before, trust me, those sessions are awesome. I've seen people. The last one, we had some guy called Efizi. I'm bringing that guy back in 2 weeks. Within lockdown, while we were at home, they are not giving us incentive. Everything is hard. They are increasing price of fuel. Efizi learned how to trade almost to the point of where he's an expert and is now calling trades for other people. Within the same period that you sat at home and moaned and groaned. So please do check that out. Once again, the number is +234 705 861 4805. Number is pinned on Instagram and Facebook. Send Daddy Free along with your name. Somebody saying Daddy Free is John Okoli. Don't send it to me. Don't type it on Instagram. Send it as a WhatsApp message to this number +234 705 861 4805. God bless you. All right, now let's move on to another topic that I said I was going to talk about today, and that's Dr. Dre and his wife. It's quite amazing that Dr. Dre's wife. It's quite amazing that Dr. Dre's wife is asking for $2 million a month. And I want us to discuss this because I'm a feminist, proudly so. I have, for 1 minute of my life, since I started believing in the feminist movement, ever regretted being a feminist. And for equal opportunities of women. And I believe personally that Christ was a feminist. Because in his time, he gave women opportunities that women were not even accustomed to getting. However, with great power comes great responsibility. If you want to upgrade a woman in today's world to the level of a man, she also has to be careful not to go there and try to oppress the man. You see, there used to be this joke. There was a young lady who had a very bad case of of bow leg. You know, bow leg is like this. So she went to church one day. There was this pastor in town, and this pastor could heal any infirmity. So the pastor said, "You young lady, get up. What's your problem?" The girl said, "I have bow leg. It's embarrassing. I feel so bad." The pastor now started to pray. Hallelujah. All those Ifa chants that they chant. And as he started chanting and praying, her leg that was bowed before now started getting straight. Now, because the pastor's eye was closed, he did not know that the girl's leg had finished straightening. He now continued with the prayer. The girl's leg started getting key. The girl's leg started getting key. By the time pastor opened his eye, girl's leg had gone from bow leg to K leg. The essence of feminism is to cure the bow leg that the female gender is currently facing with regards to inequality, with regards to oppression, with regards to harassment. However, what we need is straight legs, not K-leg. Somebody saying dry joke. It's not a joke, it's an illustration. And if you think the joke is dry, why are you staying and watching? Don't you have work? Don't you have a compound that requires sweeping? Instead of showcasing how much of how much of dark oblivion you've fallen into with ignorance, why don't you try to pick the message from what I'm saying? Instead of coming here to showcase how, I don't want to use harsh words because I've promised that I'm not going to be hard on people. But be thinking now. Did I say it as a joke? I said it so you can learn. We're talking about feminism here. If the joke is not funny, then no problem. I didn't say I was coming here to crack jokes. I was trying to illustrate something. It's 12 midnight. Don't you have a girlfriend? Get on the covers with her and get yourself busy. So what I'm trying to say is, the girl had K leg, she wants straight leg, but because the effort continued even after the result was achieved, it now went and became detrimental. So that's exactly what is happening with the feminist movement in today's world. It's no longer about making women equal with men, which is straight leg that the girl went to church for deliverance for. It has now moved to another malady, another problem of equal magnitude, just in a different dimension. And guess what? Bow leg is actually better than K leg, because with bow leg, you can play football very well. Many of your top footballers are bow legged. K leg, this how be hobbling. So the effort put in, because it was excessive, it has now given us results that we don't want. Now, here's the problem: the Nigerian women stuck in bad marriages, they can't leave because they're going to lose their children. They can't leave because nobody's going to take care of them. It's not like America. You want a divorce, the man leaves the house. He doesn't say, oh yeah, go back to your father's house to a woman. No. In America, you want the marriage and leave. While you have left, you must still pay the rent of that house and the bills too. Even if she brings her boyfriend to that house to visit her, you must still pay their rent. She has, that's it. But in Nigeria, you serve me food with a dirty plate, you call the in-laws. In fact, I'm not marrying again. Come and carry your daughter. Ah, why in-law? Sorry, what have we done? Ah, why are you like, sorry, my in-law? That is the reality. The difference in reality, home and abroad. Abroad, the woman gets to stay in the house. Nigeria, the woman is driven from the house. Now, according to many local traditions, I can speak for what Taste Buds had a video on the other day, the local Umuna Igbo tradition. She was told to return the children to her ex when she was leaving. Now, some women don't have the mind to fight for their children. Do you know what? Do you know what she goes through? Just, you don't want to know. Abroad just gives people sanity. In Nigeria, a man thinks he owns children, a man thinks he's, and guess what? They'll keep cutting him down to size, but he'll keep thinking he's important. It just ridicules my understanding of life. But that's the narrative here. So what do we want? We want equality. For a woman who works and lives with a man, I believe that when a woman is leaving a marriage, she should leave with something. If my ex-wife who has a job leaves my house, I'm not going to pay her rent. Never. But I'm not going to seize her property. There's some people who would say, as long as you bought that property while you were married to me, it belongs to me. I've seen it happen before. And I'm not calling anything. I've seen matters like that before, where the ex-husband would just decide that, no, you are not leaving my house with any property. If you are not marrying me again, you must leave all my property. When my ex left, she left with the car I bought her 4 years before, brand new. And I'll not go and chase her and say, hey, give me my car back. No. But I'm not going to pay your rent. Taking care of the children, we're working. How much are you bringing towards it? Because one thing you need to realize is as you've moved on, I've also moved on. So you are not going to be somewhere, I'll be funding your life and doing 100% of taking care of the children, and then I'll now be struggling to move on with my own life while you are easily moving on with yours because they are carrying your load for you. No. If you have a job, declare your salary. I will declare my income. We will look at it. If your income is more than mine, you get to pick whether you are woman or man. What I believe feminism is equality in sharing, 1-to-1 ratio. So if I'm earning 200,000 and I'm supposed to put 30% of my income towards the children, and you are earning 500,000, you're also supposed to put 30% of your income. So 200,000, 30% is 60,000. 500,000, 30% is 150,000. That's how it should work, not because somebody is a woman. Because I've seen many men struggle to pay bills, school fees for their ex-wives, while the women use their own salaries to buy ashoke and ashwebi and gold. And if you think that makes sense, I believe you're part of the problem. So if you're leaving me, there's no problem. I'm very pro-divorce in bad situations. But the one that you leave me and wreck me while you're at it, I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. There are many issues I had with my ex when she was leaving. I don't hold anything against her, but I put my foot down. I said, nope. Hate me all you want, call me all the names you want. I'm not going to fund this. There was an issue once where she changed the children's school and sent me the bill. This I was looking at her and the bill. You changed their school. You want me to pay? I'm sorry, ma. I will not pay. When you were changing the school, you did not require that. You did not realize that it will require money. So maybe I was a lot luckier. I didn't exploit the system. Let me tell you one thing I never did. I never fought her for the children. Never. As tempting as it was, as much as other people advised me to. And look, fight for your children, get your children. Many people, even family members, get your children, take your children. I never, because I knew how I would feel if my father and my mother separated and my father took me away from my mother. I would never be normal. And I know children that went through that. They rebelled against their parents, against their fathers. And I didn't want that. So I never, all I asked for was for visitation. I never said, join. There was a time I said, if you are giving me these bills, we might as well just share the kids. But I was able to stick my ground. I'm saying, no, I will not. That you go and rent a place or you live somewhere, I'll now be funding your life. No. We sit down, we strategize. How much is it worth? And how much is everybody going to contribute towards the end? And I believe it was fair. Throughout when the kids were with me, I paid 100% of their school fees and all their bills. Or let me say 90 something percent. So that I'll be fair before God. Now, why am I using this as an example? I notice if you're leaving my house, I still allowed my ex to come back and pack her stuff. Things that she believed were hers, I allowed her to take everything. I never held a single thing back from her. And let me also give her credit. She never took anything that was mine. The only thing she took was the car, which I believe I bought for her. So if I buy you a car, it is yours. I'm not going to drag her with you. So she came and packed all her stuff. And I never for once withheld her stuff and say, no, you cannot take. And she too, let me give her credit. She never came and tried to take my stuff that was not hers. When she left, none of my things were missing. None of my things, not my phones, not my watches, not my cars, nothing was, she took nothing that did not belong to her. When she came back again and said she wanted to pack her remaining stuff, I advised that she would come with one member of her family and I also have a member of my family so that we can make sure the things she's packing are her things. And it went well. Some women would one day Taste God to tell her story and she'll tell it in full. You'll be afraid. I was not the perfect husband to my ex, so don't get me wrong. I wouldn't even call myself a good husband. And she also was not the perfect wife for me. Let me be very honest. But there are things I'll give her credit for, and there are also things I'll give myself credit for. Now, if I were living in the US, I wouldn't have had it that easy. Because I'd probably have had to give up a lot. And let me tell you something here. I want us to define prostitution. Let's just do this. What is prostitution? The lessons I went through, I believe I went to teach you guys. I had my shortcomings. I made a lot of errors. There was a time in the relationship when the love had died, but I stayed on, or maybe she also stayed on because of what society would think and all those things. And there was something she said to my sister, that's my ex. She said she wishes she had ended it 5 years ago. That is when she went outside and saw that life could be more peaceful outside. And when she said it, it was also like an epiphany for me, because I also realized that, wow, I also should have ended this 5 years ago. Why did I have to stick with this long? Why did I have this? This wasn't a good place for either one of us, and even for the kids. And there was a neighbor of mine who I fought with for about 4 years, because when she was leaving, I believed he helped her leave. About 2 years ago, or about a year plus ago, we settled our differences. I sat down with him and I was like, look, bro, I held this against you, but in retrospect, I thank, even if you say you didn't, even if you did, I thank God you did, because it has helped both of us become better people and move to better places. I want us to define the word prostitution. Now, prostitution is the practice of engaging in relatively indiscriminate sexual activity, in general, with someone who's not a spouse or a friend, in exchange for immediate payment in money or other valuables. According to Wikipedia, prostitution is the business of or practice of engaging in sexual activity in exchange for payment. Now, sometimes a woman is, the first definition says, relatively indiscriminate sexual activity. You're in a marriage and there's no love. Once there's no love, the relationship is open to cheating. So you can be married to someone and be having sexual relationships with them, but it's indiscriminate because you don't know who they're having sexual relationships with. Who agrees here? Sorry guys, Instagram is about to log me off. Instagram shuts down after Instagram is going to shut me down. I'll try to see if I can come back with it. So Instagram is shutting me down now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just hold on, guys, for a second. Let me deal with this. Okay. So Instagram is back up. Just 1 second. Okay, so let me just wait for Instagram to come right back. I was talking about prostitution. Prostitution, according to this definition, is the practice of engaging in relatively indiscriminate sexual activity in general with someone who is not a spouse or friend. Now, you can be in a relationship and the person is not your friend, and you are engaging in the sexual activity just so that the marriage stays together, because you know that if you deny your spouse sex, they can file for divorce on that basis. So you're engaging in indiscriminate sexual activity with someone who's cheating or sleeping around or not emotionally tied to you in any way or form. And prostitution is exchanging this activity for a favor, for money, or for whatever it is. If you're exchanging it for the continuity of a marriage, not because you're doing it from love, I believe is also prostitution. So there are many people who are in marriages who are committing prostitution in their marriages simply because they want to keep the marriage together, because they stand to lose a lot if the marriage fails. Many people consider the welfare, the mental. I don't think children should see parents suffer. I know what it's like to go through depression. There was a time in my marriage, in my former marriage, I had what you call acute depression. I didn't want to kill myself. I didn't want to ring sniper or jump off a bridge. No. I just did not have the zeal to live. I would just wake up in the morning and lie in my bed, and I would not have the energy to get up. I will not sleep, but I'll just lie there and look at the ceiling for 4 hours. I'm just there, chilling, relaxing, but I can't get up. I don't have that energy to get up and kickstart my day, to go and hustle, to go and... I did it. Then my work then used to start at 3 o'clock. So like 2:30, I'll just get the energy to get up, shower for the first time, grab something to eat because my tummy was already beginning to pain me, and I'll go to work. Then once I'm done with work at 8 o'clock again, I'm just coming back home again, and I'm just going to lie down. I had no zeal to live, and I began to lose weight. And I lost about half my body weight. I had to go and get a belt drill and start drilling my belt because they no longer fit. And people thought I was sick, and people were worried for me, my sisters. And I started chain smoking. So when people say, stay in a marriage is meant to be endured, you cannot endure depression, no. You cannot endure it. I tried it. It was God that saved me from it. And now, because my ex was an orphan, she used to wonder why I was depressed. I used to ask me, you have both parents and you are depressed. What right do you have to be depressed? People don't get it. So I was depressed. I was in a relationship. Someone who was in a relationship with me did not understand why I was depressed. And I was sinking further into the depression. And I had an uncle of mine who died of that depression. His wife was doing better financially than him, so she was using the money to woo the kids to her side. And then he got into this depression. Now, he was also passive. He wasn't trying to kill himself or anything. But guess what? He was sick and he didn't have the zeal to go to the hospital. You see, waking up every morning and getting out of bed, there's a level of zeal you need to have. If you don't have it, you won't get out of bed. He couldn't get out of bed to go to the hospital. And when they finally dragged him to the hospital, someone said, I'm not qualified to advise people to zip up. Why don't I just zip you up by blocking you from my page? As long as it's my page, I am qualified to do whatever it is that I want. It's my page. Somebody is going to wake up today from what I'm saying. I nearly died. Not that anybody was trying to kill me physically, emotionally, or spiritually. I just did not have the zeal to live. And maybe you are learning something from this. So that's how my uncle died. He had typhoid and he didn't have the zeal to use medicine. And he just dragged through it, and the next thing he was dead. And I remember that his wife was very beautiful. I remember those days when we would go to Lagos, we would take my dad's car and drive to her house and try to introduce us to her. That's his wife. You know, eventually they got married. You know, people changed. I don't know what happened, but it didn't work out and he died. So I was going through that depression and I didn't have, there was a point where a friend of mine said, you know what, we should go to Abia State. That there was a woli, a pastor, a prophetess there, that we should go there and spend the weekend there and she would pray for me. I was ready to go. Because you guys don't know what depression is. And I pray that you never experience it. So when everything now escalated to the point where my ex left and everything, I realized that some people need to be saved from the bondage of marriage. It doesn't mean you are bad. It doesn't mean your spouse is bad. It just means that the two of you are not meant to be. And before you people do yourselves any grievous bodily harm, end the marriage and move on. Now, what am I driving at? There are women in Nigeria who are afraid to leave because if they try to leave, they leave with nothing. And now, reverse is the case abroad. Because there are many men who are afraid to end the marriage because if the woman leaves, she leaves with everything. So in Nigeria, the women are afraid to leave because they leave with nothing, while abroad, the men are afraid to let the women go because if they go, they leave with everything. So in both ways, the marriages have become beds of prostitution, where two strangers have to sleep with each other. Two strangers have to cohabit to raise children. Two strangers have to be forced upon each other simply because of what they stand to lose, not what they stand to gain. And when you begin to measure your life by what you can lose, you begin to hollow out from within. I should not be on Nigeria Info because of what I stand to lose. I should be there because of what I stand to gain. So you're stuck in a marriage, you're not leaving because you're calculating what you would lose if you leave. That's not life. A marriage is something you should be in and calculating what you stand to gain with regards to friendship, intimacy. Sometimes taste buds and I go decisions that we have to make. How are we going to do this? But you see, the fact that you have someone with you, the fact that you look around you and you can feel the presence of another human being who's standing in that hole with you is worth fighting for. But when you don't have that, if my marriage had not ended, I certainly will not be alive today. I know it for a fact. So when people say your marriage failed, my marriage failed so that God can use me to save you. Yes, the book of Malachi chapter 2 says God hates divorce, that it is a violent thing. God also hates lying. Now, if you read the things among which you will not make heaven, divorce is not among them. Lying is. Revelation chapter 22 verse 16, outside heaven's gates, outside the gates of the city, are the liars and those who love to live a lie. So if you are in a marriage and you are living a lie, you are most likely going to go to hell than if you come out of that marriage and move on with your life and get a proper divorce, because even Christ gave. Matthew chapter 19 verse 9. Whoever divorces his wife except for sexual immorality. So you've been given a clear-cut instance through which you can leave a marriage, sexual immorality. And guess what? The word that was used was porneia, meaning prostitution. When you're already committing prostitution with your marriage partner, I think it's time to leave. When you're engaging in intimacy with someone who you're doing it in exchange for their loyalty in a relationship, then I think it's time to leave. I said something when I was interviewing Timaya. I asked Timaya, I said, Timaya, why did you leave your ex? He said something. He said, one day I looked into my future. I didn't see her there. The same thing happened to me. I looked into my future. I saw the great things that God had lined up for me. I saw the great revelations that God was going to use me to bring to a world that is broken. And I looked around and I didn't see my ex with me. And I asked myself, why am I proceeding into this future? Roping somebody's daughter along when really we have no future together. My job, if you don't realize how important my work is in the body of Christ. And I have some pastor friends who understand my importance and relevance and don't joke with it. They might not agree with my methods. They might not agree 100% with my message, but they know that the revival is needed. And I could never have done 10% of what I did if I had stayed in my marriage. Because first of all, by the time I think of what they're going to say to me at home, if I go and preach this kind of message, how can I wake up after God revealed it to me that, look, you people need to stop calling the devil Lucifer, that the devil is not Lucifer, that the Son of God is Lucifer, he's the bringer of light. And God revealed the scriptures to me in all the languages in which it was mistranslated, and how King James created the error that we have now arrived where we are. You think I can preach that with my ex? And they will not call family meeting upon my head that I've gone to join cults? Think about it. Think about the value I have added this nation by the liberating teachings that I have consistently given over the last 3 years. I wish you could see my messages. One guy sent me 1,500 naira today, and I was so happy. It's what he could afford. It's not the 1,500 naira that made me. That somebody just decided that, Daddy Freeze, you've changed my life. I don't have any money. This I have. Take this 1,500. And I prayed for him. I said, Father, you've seen his heart. And I'm praying for him now. Father, you've seen his heart. Continue to enrich his soul with things money can buy and things money cannot buy. There are people who would come on every live feed that I do to try to pick something, to try to encourage me. Some emotionally and financially, some only financially. Some just their presence there, making it, because there are 101 people. If 2 people leave, like now 2 people have left, is now 99 people. Just those people being there to make it 100 people. People like Esther Morley, always there. Neka Spiff, always there. Harvey. There's one guy too here on Facebook. I've forgotten his name. Simply Vic. May God bless Simply Vic. He's my brother. You know? And I can imagine. My ex left in 2014. The Free Nation began in 2017. If she hadn't left, I would not have been able to touch any of your lives. Because I cannot confirm that she was able to use that to tender that I'm a religious opposition, somebody that she needs to run away from me. That's how she was able to relocate abroad. I heard. I'm not going to say it for a fact. So if somebody can say that, you can imagine that I wasn't going to get any support in this department. And not that I blame her. The Free Nation message is a difficult message. Me that I'm preaching it, sometimes I finish preaching and I sit down and ask myself, this yoke is heavy. God bless you, Bishop Paypony. I hope I got that right. So going back to Dr. Dre's divorce, let me end with this. In my opinion, what that woman truly deserves out of his about 800 million, I believe she deserves a good house of about 4 to 10 million, not more than $10 million. I believe she deserves about $100,000 a month from him. I believe she deserves a brand new car of her choice, not exceeding $500,000 every 3 years. Meaning she's supposed to take her car in and get a new car every 3 years. A Rolls-Royce Cullinan, a Rolls-Royce Ghost, a Bentley, Bentayga. Those are cars within that range, comfortable, luxurious. I believe that is fair. Give her a house, make sure she has a car, and $100,000 a month. Do you know there are nurses who work for a whole year and don't make $100,000? And then out of that $100,000, they still have to buy their car and buy their house. She's gotten a house, she's gotten a car. There should be some cash upfront settlement of maybe another 10 to 20, $30 million. Cash they take, bulk. Go and start something with your life. Go and walk. Or go and invest. Go and learn how to trade Forex. Dr. Dre's wife, call Bookie. +234 705 861 4805. Because what's going to happen is more men are going to opt for baby mamas. Because baby mama, some women say, I don't like the baby mama drama. You now start realizing that there's less drama with a baby mama than in a marriage. Because the baby mama is not going to break up with you and ask for $2 million a month. What she's going to ask for is child support. If you understand what I'm talking about. She was asking for $900,000 a month for entertainment. Really? 900,000? She says she buys 100 and something $1,000 worth of clothes a month. Like, is this how people spend money? Now, like I said, they listen to your music and they buy Beats by Dre. Is that what you use the money for? $100,000 a month for shoes? That is, she buys 30 million naira worth of shoes and clothes every month. Kilo day, where is she going to? Maybe because I'm not rich, maybe that's why I don't understand. But I'll be amazed if Mackenzie Bezos buys $100,000. I'm sure these billionaires, as in the real billionaires, they'll just call them and say, "Oh boy, you hear what Dr. Dre wife they wear? Mark, now so your wife they wear them." Mark will say, "Oga Bilo, ask Melania." I don't know, is that how you do it? Melania, they buy, no be Tesco, she buy clothes from. Bill go, Mark go say, boy, now so myself see amo. They'll come call Jeff. Jeff, come. Now you get money pass for this whole world. Now so Mackenzie, they buy clothes, 100 and something thousand a month. Jeff go say, I read them my week. So that's it. Now, another thing a lot of people are saying is Jeff Bezos' wife got 30 billion. Jeff Bezos' wife built his company with him. They built it together. It's like Melania Gates leaving, or Melinda Gates, I beg your pardon, leaving Bill and not getting $50 billion. It's impossible. Even me, I will go there and fight. I will come out shirt, fight. Because they practically built everything together. You see, we all need to be human beings. If you're in a marriage and you're leaving, be fair to your former spouse. And if you're the one they left, be fair to the one who's leaving. You see, Islam teaches fairness a little bit deeper than Christianity does, because many of us don't imbibe the teachings of Christ. There was a certain teaching that a friend of mine who's an imam was discussing with me one day. He spoke about some gentleman going to meet the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and saying, "I have 2 wives and 2 apples. What is fairness? Is it giving each one an apple?" And the Prophet replied, he said, "No. Cut each apple into 2 and give each wife 1/2 of each apple, just in case one apple is sweet and the other one is sour." So fairness cuts very deep. You have to think about the person you're leaving, and you have to think about how to be fair to them. And I want to ask you today, you're done with that marriage, you want to leave. Are you being fair to the person you're leaving? Please be fair. God bless you all. I'll be having a teaching tomorrow. I usually do Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I do Forex with Daddy Freeze and Bookie. But tomorrow, I'll be live. And I bless God for you all. And we're going to be talking about one of 2 topics. I don't know if I should talk about gods of foreign ancestry. You know, how we imbibed the gods of the white people and turned them into our own and threw our own out. And if I'm gonna have, it's just gonna be an amazing topic, and I want you to join in. Take good care of yourselves, everyone. God bless you, and I love you. Don't stay in a bad marriage, but if you must leave, don't destroy the person in your bid to show bitterness. Remember, Christ instructs us to forgive. You must learn the art of forgiveness. As I'm speaking to you, if there's anybody out there who has offended me, all they need to do is put a call through to me. Finish. It's done. It's done. Now, forgiveness does not mean we're going to live together, we're going to be best friends. But it's done. No feelings, because I can't get forgiveness from God if I can't forgive you. So we've got to learn that art. God bless you all. God bless you, Uriel. How are you doing? I'm going to reach out to you. We haven't spoken in a while. Hope you're good. I usually come up tomorrow at about 5 o'clock in the evening. So please make sure you join. Take care and God bless.